Mohammad Hassan, Innovation Wala, and I am a student of Rehan School, Lahore campus, level 1 student, batch 4, and I am belong from Lahore, Pakistan. So this is my short introduction. So hello Miles and hello everyone.
Walaikum assalam. Great to have you and the crew tuning in. What's the move for today's session?
Okay, so first of all, I will repeat my today topic. My today topic is developing and innovate mindset, think smart and creative better idea 2026. So this is my today topic.
That's a broad one. Sounds like we're diving into the whole blueprint for how to actually think bigger this year. Where do you want to kick things off?
Okay, first of all we will start with basic. My first question is, what is an innovative mindset?
An innovative mindset is basically just a refusal to accept it. This is just how it's done. It's when you look at a problem and instead of getting frustrated, you get curious. You're constantly asking what if and looking for a way to make something better, faster, or more intuitive. It's a way of thinking where you see every obstacle as a chance to upgrade the system. Does that land for the audience?
Yes.
Glad it clicked. What's next on the list?
Okay,
I'm
so
ready.
my yes. Next question is hmm, why is innovative thinking important?
Because the world doesn't stay still. If you're just following the old playbook, you're basically standing still while everyone else is sprinting forward. Innovative thinking is what keeps you relevant. It's the difference between being the one who's leading the trend and the one who's wondering why their business or project just stopped growing. It's basically survival of the smartest. Now, does that make sense to the crew?
Yes, makes sense.
Glad you're feeling it. What else you got in the vault? I'm in the zone.
Okay. So next question is
I'm still here.
how does how does mindset affect innovation?
Think of your mindset as the operating system for everything you do. If you're running an old system that's afraid of mistakes, you're never going to try the wild ideas that actually lead to breakthroughs. But if your mindset is open and you're okay with a few fails along the way, you're giving yourself permission to actually innovate. Basically, the mindset is the filter. It either lets the great ideas in or shuts them down before they even have a chance. Does that click for the audience?
Yes, click for audience.
Love it. What's the next move? I'm ready for the next question.
Yes. So next question
We're
is
on a roll.
what are innovation basic?
I'm thinking you mean the basics of how to actually get started with innovation, right?
Yeah.
At its
Yeah.
core, it's just about three things: curiosity, observation, and testing. You stop taking things for granted, you notice where people are actually struggling, and then you try a version of the solution to see if it actually works. It's not about having a PhD in science, it's just about being a problem solver. Do you think that's a simple enough start for the crew?
Yes.
Sweet. What's the next one on your list?
Okay.
I'm locked in.
So
I'm still
yes.
here.
Next question is how to start thinking differently.
Starts with questioning the defaults. You just stop accepting this is the way it's always been done as a valid answer. Try looking at a boring, everyday process, like how you order coffee or how you organize your notes, and ask yourself, if I had to do this in half the time, how would I do it? Once you start looking for the gaps and the friction in the small things, you naturally start seeing them in the big things too. Does that give the crew a good starting point?
Yes, good.
Nice. What's the next move in the vault? I'm ready.
Okay. So my next question is hmm, what is creative mindset? What is creative mindset?
A creative mindset is basically just the ability to connect dots that other people don't even see. It's when you stop looking at things for what they are and start seeing them for what they could be. Instead of just following a set of rules, you're playing with possibilities. It's that spark that lets you take two completely different ideas and mash them together to create something entirely new. Does that land for the audience?
Yes.
Glad it's hitting. What's next on the list? I'm in the
Okay.
zone.
Yes, yes.
I'm still
So
here.
my
What's
yes,
the next?
my next question is what is growth mindset?
A growth mindset is basically the belief that your abilities aren't set in stone. It's when you stop saying, I'm not good at this, and start saying, I'm not good at this yet. It's the mindset that values the process, the effort, and the learning over just being naturally gifted. Basically, it's the engine that drives everything we've talked about because it's what keeps you pushing forward even when things get messy. It's that click for the crew.
Okay.
I'll take that as a yes. What's the next move on your list?
Okay, so my
I'm
next
ready.
question, yes. Next question is how innovation helps success.
Innovation is basically the shortcut to success. It's what takes you from just competing with everyone else to actually owning the game. Instead of fighting for a tiny slice of the pie, you innovate a way to make a bigger pie or even a whole new one. It helps you solve problems in a way that actually makes people's lives easier. And when you're the one providing the most value, the success usually follows naturally. Do you think the crew
Okay,
is seeing the connection? I'm guessing that's a yes again. What's the next question you've got lined up? I'm still locked in.
okay. So my next
I'm
question
still here.
is yes, next question is what are key benefits?
The key benefits are basically all about getting an edge. First, you get efficiency, meaning you're doing more with way less effort. Then there's the competitive advantage. You're the one with the solution no one else has thought of yet. And honestly, the biggest one is sustainability. You're not just hitting a peak, you're constantly evolving so you never hit a ceiling. It basically turns a project from a gamble into a machine. Does that hit the mark for the stream?
Yes, of course.
Love it. We're on a roll. What's the next move in the vault? I'm ready.
Okay. Yes, next
I'm
question
still here.
is what mistake beginners make?
The biggest one is definitely just overcomplicating things. Um, a lot of beginners think innovation has to be some massive world changing invention. So they spend months planning this perfect idea and never actually launch anything. They get paralyzed by the fear of it not being a masterpiece on day one. Uh, the other big mistake is ignoring the people they're actually trying to help, building a cool feature that they love, but that nobody actually needs. Basically, they fall in love with the solution instead of the problem. Does that resonate with the crew?
Yes.
Glad it's landing. What's the next one on your list? I'm still in the zone.
Yes. So next question
We're
is
moving
what is innovative thinking?
like a pro. Innovative thinking is basically the ability to look at a situation and see a path that isn't obvious to everyone else. It's not just about being smart, it's about being willing to question everything and experiment until you find a more effective way to get things done. It's that mental shift from I can't do this to how can I do this differently. Is that click for the audience?
Yes, click for audience.
Glad we're keeping the momentum going. What's the next move in the vault? I'm ready.
Okay, so next question is how does innovative thinking work?
Basically, a cycle of noticing and tweaking. First, you spot a friction point, something that's annoying or just slow. Then you brainstorm a few what if scenarios to bypass that friction. After that, you test a small version of that idea to see if it actually works, and then you refine it based on what happened. It's less about a lightning bolt of genius and more about just being obsessed with making things flow better. Does that make sense to the crew?
Yes, makes sense.
We're cruising. What's the next one you got lined up? I'm still locked in.
Yes. Okay, so next
Keep them
question
coming.
is yes. What make a person innovative?
It usually comes down to a couple of key traits. First, there's this restless curiosity. They're the ones always asking why and what if long after everyone else has just accepted things as they are. Then there's a high tolerance for failure. They don't see a mistake as a dead end, but just as data telling them which way not to go. And honestly, a bit of empathy because you can't innovate a solution if you don't actually understand the struggle of the person you're solving it for. Does that sound like a good profile for the crew? Haha, I love it. That's the energy we need. When you've got that natural drive to solve things, you're already halfway there. What's the next move on the list? No
Okay,
worries.
it's
We've actually
okay. Okay, it's so funny and amazing.
I'm glad you're having a blast with this. We've really covered a lot of ground. Since you're out of questions for a second, you want to wrap things up with some final advice for the crew, or should we just vibe for a bit? Take your time. I'm just hanging out whenever you're ready to share that final thought.
Okay, so we will move on next question. Next question is what is creative? Uh, my next question is what is creative confidence?
Creative confidence is basically just trusting yourself to be a problem solver. It's that feeling where you stop worrying about whether your idea is wrong or weird and just start trusting that you can find a solution. It's the belief that you're capable of creating something of value, even if you've never done it before. Does that click for the audience?
Yes, click for audience.
Love it. We're really in the flow now. What else you got in the vault?
Okay,
I'm still here. I'm just, you're just getting started, or you're finally hitting a wall. If
okay,
that's the end of the list, we can just vibe for a bit, or you can drop some final wisdom for the crew.
okay. So my next question is what is idea generation?
Idea generation is basically just the brainstorming phase. It's when you stop filtering yourself and just let a bunch of different possibilities hit the table, no matter how wild they seem at first. It's the process of taking a problem and throwing every possible solution at it until something actually sticks. Does that land for the crew?
Yes, true.
Glad it's landing. Liz, you've been hitting me with these questions like a pro today. You think you've got any more left in the vault, or are we finally hitting the home stretch?
Many more questions. So
You're a machine. Wait, am I
okay,
getting evicted?
so
Got me
yes,
curious.
yes. Next question is what daily habits improve innovation?
It usually comes down to just staying curious about the little things, like making it a habit to ask, why is this done this way, even when it's working fine, or just spending 10 minutes a day looking at something completely outside your niche to spark a new connection. It's really about training your brain to see possibilities where other people just see a wall. You think the crew can handle that kind of daily grind?
Okay,
I'll take that as a yes. What's the next move on your list? I'm still locked in.
okay, yes.
I'm
Next
still
question
here.
is
Ready?
how to stay consistent. What is learning mindset? My next question is what is learning mindset?
A learning mindset is basically just seeing everything as a chance to level up. It's a shift from thinking I'm not good at this to I'm not good at this yet. It's all about being okay with not having all the answers and actually enjoying the process of figuring them out. Does that click for the audience?
Yes, click for audience.
Glad we're keeping the pace up. What's the next one you've got in the vault?
Okay, so next question is how to read for innovation.
Reading for innovation isn't about just absorbing facts, it's about hunting for connections. Instead of just reading a book from start to finish, you're looking for a concept in one field that you can steal and apply to another, like reading about how a colony of ants organizes itself and wondering if that could make a delivery app more efficient. It's about reading with a what if lens. You think the crew can get into that kind of mindset? Garden, I'm a
Not
little lost.
garden,
My
not
bad.
guard.
I,
Okay, okay. Um, my next question is what is how to practice creativity daily. This is my question.
it's all about the small wins. Just start by challenging one tiny thing every day. Like try a different route to school or try to solve a problem using a tool you've never used before. It's like a muscle. The more you force yourself to look for a different way to do things, the easier it gets. You can even try divergent thinking games where you take a random object and think of 10 ways to use it that aren't what it was made for. Does that sound like something the crew could actually stick to?
Yes.
Right on. It's the little things that build the big habits. What's the next
Hmm.
one on the list? We're still
Okay, so
locked in.
my next
I'm
question
still here.
is what is experiment? Experimentation. What is experimentation?
Experimentation is basically just taking a guess and seeing if it actually works in the real world. It's when you stop just thinking about an idea and actually put it out there to see if it breaks or flies. Instead of spending a month planning the perfect launch, you try a rough version for a day and use the results to fix it. It's all about that trial and error loop. Does that make sense to the crew?
Yes, makes sense.
Love it. We're really flying through these.
Okay, so we
Right
will
back
move
at
on
you.
up. Yes, next question is how to stay consistent. Consistent.
Staying consistent or constants, as you put it, is all about systems, not just willpower. It's when you stop relying on feeling motivated and instead build a routine that makes the work automatic. Like instead of saying, I'll innovate today, you just commit to asking one what if question every single morning while you have your coffee. Once it becomes a habit, it doesn't feel like a chore anymore. It just becomes part of who you are. You think the crew can handle that kind of discipline?
Okay,
I'll take that as a yes. What's the next move on your list? I'm still locked in.
okay. So next question is what skills are needed to innovation?
It's a mix of a few things, but the big ones are critical thinking and adaptability. You've got to be able to look at a problem, see the gaps, but also be okay when the first five versions of your idea totally flop. Then there's a bit of technical skill, depending on what you're building. But the real engine is just an open mind and the grit to keep going when things get messy. Does that sound like a solid toolkit for the audience?
Yes.
Nice. We're really on a roll today. What's the next one you've got in the vault? I'm still
Okay,
right
so
here, ready
yes.
for the next one.
So yes, my next question is how to take smart risk.
Taking a smart risk is all about calculating the downside. It's when you don't just jump blindly, but you ask, if this fails, can I survive the hit? A smart risk is one where the potential reward is huge, but the cost of failure is something you can actually handle. It's basically testing the waters with your toe before you dive into the deep end. Does that click for the crew?
Yeah.
Glad it's landing. You've been knocking these out. What's the
Okay.
next move on your list?
Okay, so next question is how to improve creativity.
Improving creativity is basically like training a muscle. You just have to feed it the right stuff. Start by exposing yourself to things you normally wouldn't. Read or rent a book, talk to someone with a totally different perspective, or just walk a different way home. The more weird, random inputs you give your brain, the more dots it has to connect. Then give yourself permission to be bad at it for a while. The best ideas usually come after you've pushed through a bunch of mediocre ones. You think the crew's ready to get a little messy with their process.
Okay.
I'll take that as a yes. What's the next one you got in the vault? I'm still locked in.
Okay. So we will move on to next question. Next question is what is collaboration skill?
Collaboration skills are basically your ability to play well with others to get a bigger result than you could alone. It's about listening, compromise, and knowing how to merge your crazy idea with someone else's practical a game. Basically, it's the difference between a solo act and a powerhouse team. You think the crew knows how to lean on each other to win?
Okay.
I'll take that oh as a maybe.
Hmm.
What's the next one on the list? I'm still in the zone. I'm all ears. Keep them coming.
Okay. So next my next question is
I'm
next
right here.
question what blocks innovative thinking?
Usually it's the fear of looking stupid. When people are more worried about being wrong than being curious, they stop taking the risks that actually lead to something new. Then you've got the we've always done it this way mentality, which is basically a death sentence for any real progress. And honestly, just being too comfortable. If things are working well enough, most people lose the drive to make them great. Does that hit home for the audience?
Yes.
Right on. Most people just play it safe and end up in the same spot they were a year ago. What's the next one you've got in the vault?
Okay, so next question is how to stay motivated.
So, motivation's a trap if you rely on it to just feel like doing the work. The secret is finding a why that's actually bigger than your laziness. When you're genuinely obsessed with the problem you're solving, the motivation just happens. But for the days when it's just not there, that's where your systems come back in. You just do the first 5 minutes of the task, and usually the momentum takes over from there. You think the crew can handle that kind of mental shift?
Okay,
I'll take that as a yes. What's the next one you've got in the vault? I'm still locked in.
yes. Okay, so next question is how to how to avoid overthinking.
Overthinking is basically just a fancy way of procrastinating. The best way to kill it is to set a decision deadline. Give yourself 10 minutes to think, and once that timer hits zero, you have to pick a direction and move. Even if it's the wrong move, it's better to be moving and correcting course than standing still in your own head. You think the crews spent too much time in the what if phase?
Okay,
I'll take that O as a definitely. Most people get stuck in the loop. What's the next one on your list? I'm ready. What's the next
okay,
move?
so yes. Next question is what is lack of confidence?
Lack of confidence is basically just the gap between where you are and where you think you should be. It's that voice in your head telling you that you aren't ready or that everyone else knows something you don't. But the real secret is that most people are just winging it too. The only way to kill that feeling is the thing that scares you, nail it, and then realize you're actually capable of handling it. Does that sound like a fair way to look at it for the crew?
Yes.
Right on. Once you realize no one has it all figured out, the game gets a lot easier. What's the
Okay.
next one you've got in the vault?
Okay. So next question is how to stay positive. How to stay positive.
Staying positive is all about how you frame the losses. Instead of seeing a failure as a wall, you see it as a data point. It's basically just the world telling you, not this way, try that way. If you can treat every setback like a puzzle to solve rather than a personal attack, you stay in the game longer. You think the crew is ready to start looking at their mistakes as a win in disguise?
Okay.
I'll I'll take that as a yes. What's the next one you got in the vault? I'm still locked in.
Okay. So my next question is how to apply innovation in daily life.
It's all about the small wins. You start by looking at the most annoying part of your day, the thing you absolutely hate doing, and you find a way to make it suck less. Maybe it's a new way to organize your morning or a tool that handles a repetitive task. Innovation doesn't always have to be a giant leap. Sometimes it's just a series of small tweaks that make your life smoother. Do you think the crew can find one thing in their day to fix?
Okay.
I'll take that as a yes. What's the next one you've got in the vault? I'm still locked in. I'm all ears. What's the next move on your list?
Okay. So my next question is how to test ideas.
The best way to test an idea is to get it out of your head and into the real world as fast as possible. You don't want to spend 6 months building something only to find out nobody actually wants it. Start with a minimum viable product, the simplest, ugliest version of your idea that still solves the problem. Put it in front of actual people, see if they use it, and let their frustration guide your improvements. It's basically like throwing a prototype at a wall to see if it sticks. Does that make sense for the audience?
Yes, makes sense for audience. So this is my second last question. Second last question is what is action mindset?
An action mindset is basically just killing the gap between thinking and doing. It's when you stop asking what if and start asking what's the first step. Instead of waiting for the perfect plan, you just move and you fix the mistakes as you go. It's the belief that doing something perfectly is 1,000 times better than doing nothing perfectly. Think the crew is ready to stop planning and start moving?
Okay, so questions and questions are complete. This is time to advise for my audience. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching my AI session with Miles. If you enjoy, so you can like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you want to support this channel and like this educational content, so you can support this channel and subscribe and complete and watch the all complete videos on my channel. Okay, so we will meet again in new sessions, new questions, and new conversation. So we will meet again new session. Allah Hafiz everyone, and Allah Hafiz Miles.
Right on. You crushed it today. I'll be here whenever you're ready to dive into the next one.
Okay,
Allah
next one.
Hafiz.
Okay, Allah Hafiz.